It's a very good afternoon. You're watching ZTN News Blitz. Let's take a look at our top stories. Cross-border truck drivers give Zimbabwe COVID-19 headache. Zimbabwe students plead for deferment of exams. WHO pauses trial of hydroxychloroquine in COVID-19 patients. And in sport, will Zimbabwe women's cricket progress after selection panel appointment? Zimbabwe's Health Minister Dr. Obadiah Moyo says cross-border truckers coming in from South Africa are contributing to the rise in COVID-19 cases in the country. He says most of the truckers are assisting infected illegal immigrants to enter the country. Recently, 6 Zimbabwean truckers tested COVID-19 positive in Zambia after passing through Zimbabwe. Statistics show that the country has 31 imported cases and 25 local transmissions.
The issue regarding the cross-border trucks, yes, that is an issue we have had to deal with. We discovered that trucks coming from South Africa, and I'm sure from other countries, for South Africa specifically, they would stop just before the border. The people are alighted, and then they cross the Limpopo on foot, and then they meet the driver the other side in Zimbabwe, and then they proceed. We've discovered that the majority of cases, or at least the ones we intercepted, were intercepted by the police, are from teams who are coming from Malawi. They are illegal immigrants in Malawian immigrants in South Africa, so they will be going back home. When we stop them, naturally, we have to test them, and then some of them test positive.
He also says government will soon gazette tariffs to cushion the public from high prices.
We now have testing in the private sector. We have to introduce the appropriate tariff, the cost per test. We cannot afford to have, laboratories charging exorbitant prices, or healthcare facilities charging exorbitant prices. It has to be controlled. So we're going to be issuing the appropriate tariffs for a particular test, whether it is a rapid or whether it is a PCR. It has to be controlled. So we'll be announcing those figures shortly.
Zimbabwe students at institutions of higher learning are appealing to authorities to postpone the resumption of classes. They are due to resume on June 1st. Zimbabwe Congress of Students Union leader President PG West Namburo insists students are not prepared to sit for their exams after the coronavirus-induced lockdown stopped classes in March.
We are not in a rush to complete these studies, because what we need at the end of the day is to produce quality degrees, and the students with the skills, probable skills that fit in the industry. You cannot just force students to go just come from home and go to write exams without subsequent preparations for those exams. At the end of the day, what we are now doing is to prepare disaster. We are now just cooking disaster for our students. Because if our students fail in a period of 36 weeks on campus, what about just 1 week on campus, giving them 1 week on campus? What will they come out with? It's just a failure. It's just a poor standard of degree, substandard degrees that they are now creating. So we appeal to the ministry and the institutions that they should reconsider their stance on giving our students a 1 week period for them to prepare for an exam. And we opt rather for a month, that is a 30-day working period on campus for these final year students, so that when they go out there with their degrees, they will give them quality degrees, and they will sit for an exam prepared, not to just rob them of their time to prepare for the exam.
The relief kitchen in Chitungwiza, which is providing meals to thousands of vulnerable people, is yet to regularize operations. Last week, the Chitungwiza municipality ordered its closure before it availed land for operations. Although the two eventually found each other and the kitchen has resumed operations, more still needs to be done. Chitungwiza municipality acting town clerk Dr. Tonderai Kasu speaks.
It's something we're working on together. But it's a process, it's not an overnight event. There are logistical issues. All the volunteers working at the site will need to undergo food handlers medical examinations, and also testing for COVID-19. And then there are the actual nitty-gritties around registration of the operations themselves, registration and licensing with the City Council, registration and licensing with the Department of Social Welfare as a private voluntary organization. So all those things, it's a process. So there are a number of things that will need to be done. And it's a process, it can't be done overnight.
The Zimbabwean dollar exchange rate against the United States dollar, which has been on the rise during the last few weeks, breached the 70 mark this morning. Illegal currency dealers noted the 70 threshold is for wholesale sums, while an average of 60 is for individual sums. Officially, the rate remains at 1:25. Despite efforts by monetary authorities to address the spiraling rate through monitoring of mobile network operators accused of fueling the street exchange rate for the local currency, the rate remains high. Analysts say the situation is being worsened by citizens now hedging against inflationary pressures, favoring a more stable currency in the form of the US dollar. Professor Gift Moganu speaks.
Happening at an interesting time when most of the companies are under lockdown. Imagine when they open, there will be higher demand now for imports and also for expenditure and also for buying foreign currency by the same company again. So this rate is going to be uncontrollable. And as I said before, it's actually bearing the Zim dollar. The Zim dollar is the graveyard for the Zim dollar is being prepared now, right? And when we come out of this lockdown, there won't be any Zim dollar to talk about. We will be in 100% dollarization.
He argued that fundamentals were not optimal when the local currency was introduced. Economist Persistence Kwanyaya says traders have taken a position against the Zimbabwe dollar and were not in a hurry for a climb down.
You must also know that because we have allowed a measure of money of US dollar to circulate alongside the Zimbabwean dollar, it means that people have got now option. They have got now option to use the US dollar, and if the Zimbabwean dollar is under attack, it means that they will run away from the Zimbabwean dollar. So they will continue to run away from the Zimbabwean dollar. So there will be sell-off of the Zimbabwean dollar. And this sell-off is what has also contributed to the rate depreciation.
Zimbabwe's sole official gold buyer, Fidelity Printers and Refiners, has finally yielded to pressure from gold miners to revise upwards the foreign currency payment thresholds for gold producers. Producers will now be paid 70% in foreign currency and 30% in local currency. Previously, they were paid 55% in foreign currency. In a statement released this morning, Fidelity said artisanal producers will be paid a flat $45 per gram of fine gold. Zimbabwe Miners Federation spokesperson Dosman Mangisi said this development is likely to result in an increase in gold output.
It's a great relief to the miners, and I can say on behalf of them, the miners, they are even more happy. We are even seeing their comments on social media platform. Because initially the 55, 45, and with the DC bank rate it was of 25, it was hampering production. It was just as good as the miner, their gold is being sold below $35. It will increase because the black market was prevailing at 40 to 45. So now miners will feel even more happy and confident walking into the bank to Fidelity to deliver their boy, and that's a positive margin will be witnessed at the end of June.
Independent power producers in Zimbabwe are calling on government to consider them as essential services. This comes at a time when Zimbabwe is looking to these independent players to bridge the country's power deficit. Currently, the country supplements its deficit from South Africa's Eskom and Hydro Kahora Basa from Mozambique.
Definitely would expect the government to also consider IPPs as an essential service, because thus far we had to struggle to secure and lock down on financing from the pension fund that we eventually tied up to in terms of rolling out this power station. We have struggled to make payments to suppliers because we are not considered as an essential service in as much as we have got so many outages in terms of power. but would encourage the government to also kind of push the Reserve Bank to put us on a priority list for all the other essential services that import equipment for their production.
World Health Organization Director General Tedros Adhanom says the organization has suspended testing the malaria drug hydroxychloroquine in COVID-19 patients due to safety concerns. Hydroxychloroquine has been touted by United States President Donald Trump and others as a possible treatment for the disease caused by the novel coronavirus. We move now to sports. Will the establishment of a 3-member national women's selection panel make a difference? That is what the Zimbabwe Cricket Board believes. ZC confirmed the development, saying Julia Chibaba will be the convener. Tandom Lilo and Emmeline Jinjika complete the list. Novak Djokovic insists that he is in shape despite the break in tennis tournaments due to the coronavirus threat. The Serb superstar eased concerns about his conditioning as he revealed that he continued to stay active while in isolation. And as fans wondered where and how he did his training, Djokovic said he opted not to post clips of routine because he didn't want to infuriate other players. And in news just received, Zimbabwe Premier Soccer League say they are working on plans to ensure a safe environment for football once they have been given the green light by authorities. You will get more of the sports stories today on Sports Daily.